You think you're free, but the truth cuts deeper than you want to admit. Freedom isn't just doing what you want. When you want, it's about owning your mind, your impulses, your fears, and every fleeting urge that tugs at your soul. Most people are slaves, not to chains or cages, but to their own unchecked desires. To the itches they scratch without a second thought, to the cravings that sink their teeth in and demand to be fed. You're not as free as you think you are, and the master you serve is often the chaos within you. WisdomWavesAura, my YouTube channel, dives into this raw truth, unpacking the Stoic principles that can help you break free from the invisible chains you've forged yourself. The Stoics didn't just talk about freedom, they lived it, breathing discipline into every corner of their lives, even when the world around them roared with chaos. The hardest pill to swallow is that your lack of control isn't someone else's fault. The world doesn't conspire to hold you back, your own hands do that work. Soft and trembling, cloaked in excuses, you've dressed up as truths. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, that you're too tired, that one more episode or one more argument online won't hurt. But every time you give in, you're handing over the reins of your life to something smaller than you, something weaker. The moments you let slip through your fingers, those minutes lost to scrolling, to reacting, to chasing fleeting pleasures aren't stolen by anyone else. You give them away, and you know it. Deep down, in the quiet mirror of your mind, you see it. The time you've squandered, the arguments you started because you couldn't stand the silence, the sleep you've lost obsessing over things you cannot change. Discipline isn't some grand, heroic act reserved for legends or philosophers. It's small, gritty, and unglamorous. It's the breath you hold when anger begs to speak for you. It's the thought you silence when your ego wants to scream. It's the appetite you starve when temptation flashes its sharp, seductive teeth. Most people live like broken gates, letting everything pass through, every distraction, every whim, every sweet poison that feels good for a second but leaves them emptier than before. WisdomWavesAura explores this in videos that challenge you to look at your days, to really see how many moments you've let slip. Not because someone took them, but because you handed them over for nothing. How many times have you reacted instead of pausing? How many nights have you stayed up, scrolling through the blue light, chasing a hit of dopamine that never lasts? You're not just losing time, you're losing yourself. A weak man is easy to spot. He's the one who reacts first, who can't stand still, who needs to be heard, validated, seen at all costs. His voice is loud because his will is silent. He's the one who jumps into every argument, who can't let a comment slide, who needs the last word to feel alive for 5 seconds. His life is a series of reactions, not choices. A strong man, though you feel him before he speaks. Self-control radiates from him, heavy and undeniable. It's not that he doesn't feel anger or desire, it's that he holds them on a leash, forged by a mind that refuses to kneel to every whim. WisdomWavesAura breaks this down in raw, no-nonsense discussions, showing you how to build that inner strength, how to stand firm when your impulses scream for you to break. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They didn't craft their philosophy for quiet scholars in ivory towers. They built it for warriors, for men and women walking through storms that could shatter bones and faith in the same breath. They knew that if you don't command yourself, something else will. Your desires aren't your enemy. Your fears aren't your enemy. Your anger isn't your enemy. The real enemy is how quickly you serve them, how eagerly you drop your sword when they knock. Control yourself, or be controlled. It's a truth that applies to every corner of your life. Your tongue, when it wants to lash out. Your appetite, when it demands another bite. Your thumb, scrolling mindlessly in the blue light of midnight. Your need to win pointless battles online just to feel something. WisdomWavesAura dives deep into these moments, offering Stoic-inspired tools to help you reclaim control, one choice at a time. Self-control isn't about perfection. Perfection is for statues, not people. It's about noticing when you're weak and refusing to let that weakness define you. You think discipline is hard because you imagine it as a forever thing, a mountain you have you have to climb every day. But it's not. Discipline lives in single moments: one breath held when you want to snap, 1 second of silence when your ego wants to roar, 1 step taken when your body begs to stay on the couch. It's a choice, repeated until it becomes muscle memory. WisdomWavesAura's videos hammer this home. Freedom starts with those small, deliberate choices that add up to a life you command, not one that commands you. People fear self-control because they think it means losing pleasure, but the opposite is true. When you master your desires, you taste life more deeply. You don't eat like a starving animal, you savor. You don't love like an addict, you stand rooted. You don't speak to be loud, you speak to be heard when it matters. Your misery, so much of it, is self-inflicted, born from a lack of inner borders. You let every thought, every craving, every fear dressed as logic, cross your mind unchecked. You let comments from strangers who don't know themselves, let alone you, dictate your mood. WisdomWavesAura calls this out in stark clarity. True freedom comes from guarding the gate of your mind, letting in only what serves you. Look at your regrets, the ones you drag like chains. Almost everyone was born in a moment you didn't master. You reacted instead of pausing. You spoke instead of sitting with your anger until it shrank. You touched what you knew would burn because the fire felt good for a second. You can lie to the world about who you are, but you can't lie to yourself. You know when you're weak, and weakness feeds itself. Every time you bend your own rules, you teach yourself your word means nothing. But when you hold firm, when you say no to your worst impulse and watch it die in the dark, you grow quietly, powerfully. The next temptation comes, and you smile. You've seen it before, and you survived. Wisdom Waves Aura's content is built on this principle. Every small victory over yourself is a step toward true freedom. A man who controls himself controls his world, not the external chaos, which is an illusion, but the world inside, the only one that matters. Your mind is a battlefield. Your distractions are landmines. Your cravings traps with honey on the blade. You either stand guard or get slaughtered in pieces. 1,000 small deaths, called regret. The hardest part? No one cheers for your quiet victories. There's no applause when you bite your tongue instead of cursing. No medal for the night you train instead of sleep. No claps for the message you didn't send, the fight you didn't feed, the temptation you locked out. But you feel it, like armor under your skin, like iron in your bones. You stand taller in rooms where others shrink because they fold for cheap pleasure. You speak less because your words carry weight. You move with purpose because your mind doesn't drag you, you drag it. The Stoics weren't perfect. They broke, like everyone does. But they broke with dignity, refusing to hand their minds over like loose change. A disciplined person isn't without fire. They know when to feed it, when to starve it, when to sit with it, burning inside until it bows to them. Wisdom Waves Aura's mission is to show you how to do this not through empty platitudes, but through real, actionable steps rooted in Stoic wisdom. You don't need to prove your strength. A person who holds themselves says nothing, their silence speaks. When life hits, you hold steady. You slip, you stand again. That's it. Ask yourself tonight, where are you giving your mind away? Find it, cut it, control yourself, or be controlled. No one owns the person who owns themselves. Stand still, hold the line. Let the storms come, stay unbent. That's the Stoic warrior mind. Wisdom Waves Aura is more than a channel, it's a call to hold the reins of your own mind, to stand firm when the world pulls, to master yourself and become unbreakable. Freedom isn't chaos, it's discipline, forged in the moments you choose strength over weakness. Start today, one choice at a time.